This is the most dangerous square mile in America. It has the most dangerous gas station in the country, a highly profitable In-N-Out that's shutting down because crime is so bad, a homeless population that outnumbers paying residents, and the news has been tearing it apart.
How bad is the crime concern in Oakland?
Oakland is losing its In-N-Out burger, and the restaurant is blaming crime.
Calls for the mayor to declare a state of emergency.
Crime in Oakland has been on a steady rise since 2019.
3 suspected thieves casually smashing car windows.
I'm gonna spend the day here because I live a few minutes away, but I have never visited this neighborhood. One of my favorite ways to explore a new place is to do a food tour. So I'm gonna visit a few of the local establishments to get a feel for the neighborhood, and I'm gonna visit a special final location. But I bet you already know what that is, starting with coffee. And I'm in luck, because America's favorite coffee shop has a location right here. How can you go wrong with Starbucks? Ah, this is how. I just looked it up, and apparently this Starbucks closed last year, along with another one in the area. They weren't specific on why they closed, but you can use your context clues. So, well, I can't go to the #1 coffee chain in the country, at least #2 ain't bad, and it happens to be attached to what might be the second most dangerous gas station in the country. That's #3 across the street, and we're going to #1 down the road later. This is a small iced coffee with just a little bit of cream, and the best item on the Dunkin' Donuts menu, a blueberry cake donut. There are no blueberries in it, but it is delicious. That is undrinkable. It looks like some actual reporters are in the neighborhood today. You might start to notice that there are cops everywhere in this video. Compared to New York City, it's basically nothing, but for Oakland, this is a veritable army. And it probably has something to do with what's about to happen in this video. And it was recorded fewer than 24 hours before I did my food tour. We'll talk about that later. I used to live between a Dunkin' Donuts and a Wendy's, so to me this is a little nostalgic, but I cannot finish this cup of milk. Now I should add that I live here, not too far away. And when Keith Lee stopped by a couple weeks ago and said that this place isn't safe for tourists, I had to call BS. I think that is completely untrue. Wine country is still affluent. San Francisco has some incredible places if you know where to go. And I even made an entire video about why I love Oakland. But this is not wine country. Let's take a quick tour of this shopping plaza. This used to have tables and benches in it. You can see that on Google Maps. This used to be the Raiders store, but they're in Las Vegas now. If you want to open a business here, there is plenty of available real estate. And one of those businesses was kind enough to protect their employees' cars with this fenced-off area. And that's important, because just around the corner, this person's car was broken into, even though a cop was parked right there. But the food tour must go on. My next stop, the now world-famous In-N-Out Burger. If you grew up in California, you already love In-N-Out. If you didn't grow up in California, there's one thing you need to know. It's that it's really not that good. It's super cheap and the value for what you get is incredible, but it's just not that good. The secret menu is your friend here. This is an animal-style cheeseburger, and it's probably what you should get too. Double if you're feeling hungry. The fries are also pretty bad. People will tell you to get them well done or half done or done and a half. It's all the same. They're not that good. I actually saw a guy inside send them back because they were too soggy. This must be his first time here. Typically when a big chain like this closes, they give some vague reason about why they shut down. That was not the case here. In its 75-year history, In-N-Out has never closed a single location. They've only opened new ones, and they did not mince words. They were clear that this location shut down because of the crime. All right, maybe it is pretty good. Except for the security guard, I am the only one sitting out here. This guy's back. Just talked to him, and he's a really nice guy. Turns out he's from CNN. National News is picking up the story. This used to be a Walmart. It closed all the way back in 2016, but the closing was really abrupt, and it came right after Oakland voted to increase the minimum wage to $12.55 an hour. There's another Walmart 2 miles that way, just across the Oakland border in San Leandro. There, the minimum wage matches the state minimum, which at the time was $10 an hour, and that store is still open today. Just a few weeks ago, Oakland raised the minimum wage to $16 an hour. Hopefully it works out this time. The mayor back in 2016, Libby Schaaf, was really optimistic that someone like Target would move into this really quickly. 6 years later, not much has changed. My next stop is the place I've been looking forward to more than any other on this trip, because I love fried chicken. And Raising Cane's has fried chicken. They also have an abundance of signs begging you not to leave valuables in your car. Unfortunately, their patio has been temporarily closed for many months. And what's this? Bad news, it's drive-through only. The security guard at Raising Cane's told me that it doesn't feel any safer than it did when he started working there a year ago. Yes, the cops show up, but maybe it's safer in one area of the parking lot and it's less safe in another. There's nothing they can really do. His parting words to me were stay safe out there. This was gonna be my next stop. So Black Bear Diner is off the list for today, and so is this place. And I don't even know what this is. Now, crime in Oakland is really bad. Just last week, Kaiser told its employees to stay home, don't go out of the office for lunch, and if you have to have a meeting, do it on Zoom. This is a park right outside the Edgewood neighborhood, and in fact, it might actually be in the Edgewood neighborhood. It's beautiful. I feel like I'm miles away from what I just saw, but I can still see it at a distance. Oakland leads the country in homelessness. There are more homeless residents in Oakland per capita than anywhere else. Because this area is mostly commercial and there are a lot of places that are somewhat out of the way, you'll find a lot of encampments here. But I've talked about this in some of my past videos, and the food tour must go on. So my next stop is Hagenberger. This is a burger joint on Hagenberger Road. And my friends from CNN are here as well. This time, they let me know that a group of men wearing balaclavas driving in an SUV were eyeing them in their camera gear. Just a public safety announcement. If you see people like this, you are 3 hours away from the nearest ski resort. They are not your friends. Garlic fries are something of a regional specialty here in the Bay Area, and these are some of the best I've ever had. I don't know how they do it here at Hagenberger, but somehow they get the garlic to stick to the fry, which is always a problem. Nothing worse than a garlic fry with garlic just at the bottom of the bag. I am way too full to eat more food, but we do have one last place to go. So, where am I? This is an Oakland neighborhood called Edgewater. It's right between the Oakland Coliseum and the Oakland Airport. It's mostly industrial, offices, car dealerships, and the gas stations that have made us the nation's laughingstock. I've been putting this off long enough. It is time to visit the most dangerous gas station in the country. There it is, the most dangerous gas station in America. Not really sure why I'm going here, but maybe I'm doing it for you. On arrival, you'll be greeted with a police emergency box that seems to be decorated with bullet holes. There's also a police officer parked outside. The employees told me that this isn't common, but welcome. But despite that police officer, I only saw one person get gas here in 25 minutes. Inside is nicer than most gas stations. Illegal dumping is a serious issue. Shell Station isn't much of a restaurant. Well, that's good. Cheez-Its are one of the few foods where the original is just so much better than any of the remakes. I've heard that most people actually don't like the Mexican Coke better in blind taste tests, but who doesn't like the glass bottle? The Shell Station felt pretty safe to me, but there was a cop right next to the front door. So maybe a safety tip for you, if you're looking to get gas at the Oakland Airport, go to the station with the cop nearby. For another year, the Oakland A's are playing right over there, but that's another story. I've covered it a few times in the past. Honestly, my experience here wasn't bad at all, but Keith Lee is probably right, at least about this neighborhood. Back to this surveillance video. In it, you're going to see a group of kids in this SUV get violently robbed of all their possessions. Luggage, phones, wallets, jewelry, everything. When they went inside to talk to the store clerk, apparently he laughed and said this happens all the time. If I had known about this, I would not have done a food tour here a day later. And now the mom of one of these victims is offering $10,000 for information that leads to the arrest of these people. I wish them luck. To the people committing these crimes, please stop. To the city leadership, please do better. You are running out of time. And to you, if you like this video, I bet you'll like these too. The Bay Area still has plenty of amazing places if you know where to look. See you next week.